So I want to make this quick video real quick. I just want to say that is it just me or people that practice the craft? Look, well, I'm not gonna say practice the craft or whatever, because I do reversals and positive affirmations and stuff like that, and chants and stuff like that to protect myself along with my prayers. But I just want to say this. Is it just me or people who practice dark work against people, especially followers of Aleister Crowley or Eastern Stars? And I'm judging Eastern Stars based on someone who I knew was an Eastern Star and somebody I know that's through marriage in my family that's a part of masonry and stuff like this. But I just want to say this. Is it just me or people who dabble in stuff like that, they real weird? One thing about me that I don't like stuff that, okay, it's in my nature to try to figure stuff out, but I don't like trying to figure out stuff that's like weird. To a certain extent, I'm not talking about my investigation stuff when I'm talking about trying to uncover what these people are doing and the agendas. Not that's a gift that I have where I'm able to see the unseen. Sometimes it may slip past me and then I'll notice it later, but I'm able to strongly discern or whatever. And I've had to have stuff happen to me in order for me to trust myself and my intuition or whatever. But I just want to say this. Is it just me or, okay, I don't like stuff that I have to squint my eyes and be like, what the hell? Even if you practice the craft, why don't you practice it in your own life and practice the craft or whatever? To me, that's just weird. It's like I just can't see myself. Number one, I told you I don't even look up my family anymore or whatever at all. Period. On Facebook and other, because I really just genuinely don't care, especially with all the silence and stuff like that. I don't care. But I can't see myself trying to remote view or tap into their energy and try to figure out what they're doing. I've been sitting on this for a long time and I try not to say it, but if you are in the crowd, why would you, what? I'm trying to think what kind of mindset besides a demon inside of you will make a person go and say a chant against somebody to make sure they stay single, or say a chant to make sure they don't fall up in love, even if or nobody loves them, or let them be invisible, or let me stop because I don't want their messages to get out, or let me send a link because I don't want them to be seen. I just don't understand why people do the stuff that they do, even with like, I'm not even gonna get into details about everything I know. Just in general, it make me, even if you're not in the craft, it's just evil people do stuff like, it's no way I would see a girl by herself or introverted and every time she leaving, know that she don't like me and pissed her, know that she looking down on me, know that she's irritated, know that it's icky and she's disgusted by the fact that I'm watching her, monitoring her, and every time I see her I jump in the car and I'm driving, or every time she posts out her, I'm trying to think of what mindset. But see, that's why it's so demonic, because the devil dwells in confusion, so it's very, very confusing to even try to figure it out. So instead of trying to figure it out, how I just solve it is I just say these people are devils, because I can't see myself. Okay, I have people in my family who I don't respect and like or whatever, but it's like, it's no way. I'm just gonna use, for example, a cousin, and I'm not gonna go into no details. It's no way I would watch a cousin every day talk about GameStop and going through this, going through that. And now I don't like them or whatever, but I watch everything they do and don't say nothing. That's what I'm saying. People, they can say all day, you're imagining stuff. No. And as I said this one time, a long time ago on her channel, that not saying something is a clear answer. Even if you don't say nothing, that's a clear answer. You're like saying, if you, I don't care, or whatever it is. That's somebody that'll watch you die or getting chopped up or hear about it and not really give a damn or whatever. So I don't know why people try to play these guys. I'm just trying to see, it's no way in hell. Like, I may say certain things or whatever and oh, I want to get this, but I just can't see myself just literally sitting down praying against somebody downfall, especially if somebody I don't know. But I don't even have no harsh history with nothing like that. Well, I say this, it's certain things that people have done to me that I could have went to the craft and I don't even do that, especially when it comes to gang stalking or whatever, or reversal or Instagram spill or whatever. In general, it's like our prayers to remove them and make them stop to the Most High, let your will be done, whatever. But all that, this what I said, it's like people that do stuff like that, either you lost your mind and a whole demon is taking over, or either you just I don't even know. It's no way to even explain it. That goes far beyond just being powerful. It's like, instead of doing spells against somebody, do a spell to God, or do a spell to try to level out your mind and let God be able to speak to you clearly, so He can tell you what's wrong with you and you'll be able to see it. Do a spell that you will be able to open your third eye, and you'll be able to understand. If you're going to watch every day instead of laughing, you'll be able to see the post clearly and receive the message or whatever. That's what we say with people. One thing that irritates me, when people be looking at the post that I be posting or whatever, you can comment, you don't have to comment, whatever. Like, don't like, whatever. As you can see, they're terrible with the views or whatever. And and my thing is, if you don't believe it, you don't need to be watching somebody every day you don't believe in. Like, that's a problem. And my thing is, like I said, it's just certain things that just like agitate me to even address it, because some things should just already be understood. It's like, I told you some of the things that was done to me or whatever, wrongly done, and I didn't even do no spell against these people, breakup spell, because I don't give a fuck or whatever. When I did care or whatever, it was overlooked. When I tried to give warnings just to come, they didn't care. But it's like, you're trying to control and play God. That's why I say we're not gods. People can use that word loosely or use it another way, goddesses, whatever, like to say like a beautiful person that has self-confidence. But you're not God. You don't have the power to, you're not, you can't do it, but you already know it's judgment for that. But you're not supposed to be playing God in somebody's life. That's like God. I told you before, and a person with logical common sense will understand, or a person that had a true divine connection with God will understand it. But that's like I said, you already know that you're going to hell, especially because people that do certain things, it's like, can you really bounce back from that? Because I've done some horrible things, people done some horrible things, but just back to back to back to back, consistent. And then look at what you're doing, like constantly harming people, constantly try to throw them off their path, constantly trying to do this. And you just really think that God is watching it and just letting you get away with it. Like I told you before, all you doing is just pleasing the devil and further proving to the point that you ain't shit, excuse my language, that you aren't anything and that you deserve to go to hell or whatever. Just people just do weird stuff that I don't even understand. And really, I don't want to understand it to a certain point. It's just that if it affects me, then it's like I gotta get on there and address it. Just the stuff that they do is just like, I don't like looking at certain situations or hearing about certain situations. Not saying I don't like hearing about it, like I'm glad they're informing me, but I don't like hearing stuff and squinting my eyes like, what the hell is wrong with these people? I'm always happy to get the message, but it's just the stuff that you hear. It's almost unbelievable, but you can believe it. But it's just unbelievable. That's why I tell you, it doesn't matter if people try to deny that and stuff like that. It's true. That's like me having and I'm just using an example, me having a daughter or whatever, and I know she been through a lot, and I see her online, her sister, and I see her online. And she's just, oh, this, and I'm going through this, and blah, blah, blah. And I seen her change in a major way and all this stuff. And I'm just looking, every day looking, not saying nothing, looking. They let you know a person is not for you. And I said that in another video, looking, so you can't hear what they say, but you can imagine what they're saying if nobody is. Are you okay? Like I said, it's like somebody watch you get stabbed or something. You're like, help, I need help. Or somebody stabbed me and they just watch it, not saying it. So you already know that they're preying on your downfall. It doesn't take a genius to know that. It's just the impasse. When we deal with stuff like that, we just don't believe that, you don't want to believe that your family, it's not you don't believe, you don't want to believe that people in your family will be against you. I have an aunt or whatever that practices the craft on me, and just when I think back on certain stuff that this person did, and I heard some of the stuff they said, it's just, even before I even addressed it online, it's just utterly disgusting. They don't like the fact that you leveled up or whatever, and that you got your own place. They want you back in a submissive position or whatever, where they can they're doing stuff so you can come back with your head down and feeling, and they can be back over you or whatever. And this is supposed to be people that love you and seeing you been through that. The thing that makes me mad, I'm just gonna be real honest with you, more than anything. Okay, I can understand evil people. One thing I don't like people that are evil and wicked, and then they put God in their mouth or whatever. That's the most evilest thing that you could ever do, because you know what you're doing to try to hurt somebody in the dark, but yet you're gonna let God come out your mouth and talk about this and this, and you're a God and stuff like that. First of all, a real God or whatever, you can't even compare yourself to him, because even just in general, real God doesn't do stuff like this. Like you're constantly doing evil, demonic stuff, and then you think that you're a God, and you think that you're gonna. That's what I'm saying. People that practice the craft, dark part of the craft, they have to be delusional. Cause there's no way that you could think that you're doing all of this stuff against somebody, and then look at the person that you're doing it to, doing all this stuff to try to stop somebody, try to throw somebody off the track, and all the other stuff, wishing bad, constantly wishing bad on somebody. And you really think that you're gonna enter the gates of heaven, or you really, even if you don't believe in heaven or hell or whatever, you really think that when you die, or you're gonna be able to reincarnate, or there's some place that you can go where you're gonna be safe from the rapture or whatever. That's what I'm saying. The only way that this would make sense when people do stuff like that is if they have to have no soul, no conscience, no type of God. They don't believe in God. But if you're doing crafts or whatever, and you believe in spirits and stuff like that, you're doing ritual, spirits are carrying it out, then you have to know that it's a God or whatever, because you believe you're clearly tampering in the spiritual world, so you know that that exists. So you have to know there's a God, yet you choose to worship Satan. But anyway, that's what I say. I think that's one of the things that just made me go back and forth a lot or whatever. Because the empath in me, I sometimes struggle, and I know people don't all think like I do, but you struggle wondering, are these people possessed? And they just don't know what they're doing, and their demon is taking over because they've done so much evil that a demon is taking over and made them do this, or they just aware of what they're evil, and they're aware of what they're doing, and they enjoy doing it. Because just certain stuff people do, when you don't think a certain way, it confuses you. And I say anything that's confusing and not clear is uncomfortable for me or whatever, because I just be hearing stuff, and then it's true. Certain stuff you just know is true. You don't have to break your mind. No, only people that do stuff like that and don't want to accept the obvious are people that are choosing to be lost and not understand. You can make a choice to act stupid and not understand, when God will show you clear to your face who your enemies are. But like I said, I get tired of sometimes trying to figure out what my enemies are doing, not even what they're doing, why they're doing it. I'm glad I know what they're doing from different people, but it's like, why? What is the if you're that much of a god or whatever, and you want to control somebody's life, do that magic and take control of your own life or whatever. If you're that powerful, you don't have time to be. That's why I say certain people don't get certain messages on certain stuff or whatever, because it's kind of like they just, like I said, people just, it's just confusion. Anything confusing, anything that's like what, and you trying to figure out, it's almost like repulsing and disgusting that people do the stuff that they do, and then had a nerve to have God in their mouth. God is this. God is not with you. The way you can tell God is not with you is the stuff that you're doing and purposely putting out. Nobody's perfect, but your heart ain't right or whatever. So that's all I just want to say. I just have like a repulsed feeling or whatever, just hearing certain types of stuff that I know in my heart is true. That's one thing about psychics I could say that, and like I said, remember, you got to be careful what psychics you listen to, because everybody doesn't read out the real truth. But one thing that got me into tarot readings and stuff like that, because when I first heard it or whatever, I was just like, I always thought I was kind of like I knew I wasn't a bad person, but people, when you're scapegoated, people always make you think you're a bad person. But when I heard it and I went to different ones, they were like, "Oh, you did." I was like, "Wow!" So I'm not as them or whatever. And even I always knew it was them, but when there's so many come against you, you tend to think it's you. So I heard so many good things, even though some of them be kind of tricky or whatever in their readings, but the majority or whatever, it's just it feels good to hear that or whatever. But sometimes you have to big your own self up, and you know who you are too. But it's like you hear certain stuff and it's just, huh? And I hate being in that state where I'm just like, what do people be thinking when they do certain things? Even with neighbors and stuff, trying to listen in and just in general, I've been saying that for months. Neighbors listening in, you be wondering why they do. Now it's fine if I'm talking loud, you overhear somebody on the phone, but just to purposely listen and try, that's silly or whatever. It's just just people do silly stuff. I don't. Anyway, like I said, I'm at the point now where anybody coming up to me, my eyes are wide open. I'm watching. I'm constantly praying for God to strengthen my discernment, to watch people more, I just, it's hard for me to try to get back out there and date or take somebody seriously because it's like I see people differently than I used to or whatever. Me, the way I am, me being a real person, if I don't approach people or whatever, let's just say that I don't. But I'm just trying to think if I was a guy and I was following a girl every day and stuff like that. You already know if I know you've been doing it, don't come up to me because I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy. And then number two, it's like ain't no plotting, planning, trying to fake it front and study a person and plotting to come in their life and destroy them or what should I say? If you real, you real or whatever. And that's it. That's why they say certain people you meet and you click right away with, it's just a mutual feeling of like you can get along. Like two empaths they meet, it's connecting because they're both on the same frequency. But it's like people that are fake, I'm gonna see that, especially now that I'm awake. And so you would have to attempt to do magic to try to talking about people, somebody doing magic to try to make me close my third eye so I won't see if somebody coming to me to be deceptive. And that's what I'm saying. People do weird stuff. It's like you have to be evil in order to even do practicing like that. I would never see somebody online and hear him talking about real stuff in his story and testimony. And I'm like, oh, I want to get over him. Because I know I'm full of shit. I got to get over him. So let me do a magic so he won't be able to tell that I'm full of shit. Like, who even thinks on it? Okay, so I just wanted to get online and just vent about that. Yeah, it's just, I struggle with writing people off. It's just evil. And it's just confusing because when you don't think like that, like I said, it's just a big question mark in there. But now I just figure from now on, people don't come at me straight and do stuff that I think that I know I would do. You work for the devil. That's all I have to say.